How do I get to? Okay, so I think well, I think I'm on. Let's see, where's, oh, that's not the one. There we go. Okay, sending faster than real time. You must rate limit your live video. Huh? I don't understand that. How can it be sending faster than real time? That makes no sense. Open widget. Huh. I don't know what's going on there. Hey there, this is Matt. I'm figuring out errors in my. I got some sort of error in my stream. Not really sure what. It's saying that I'm sending data to YouTube faster than real time. I don't see how that's possible. Multiple seconds of video each second. That's not possible. Okay, well, let's go with. Hey, if you can hear me, can you say something on the in the chat window? That way I can know if, or are you not hearing anything? Well, I guess if you're not hearing anything, you're not going to answer me. I see audio is maybe I should just check on my phone. That's a good idea. Where did I put my phone? YouTube. My videos. Oh, that's me. Oh yeah, it's coming through. Yeah, it's coming through. It's coming through quick. How is that possible? Okay, well, cool. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so hey, thanks so much for coming. Um, so yesterday I did a video about a live stream about I was making a video. I was actually making the video that I published earlier today, which was so amazingly good. Let's close my blinds. It was great because I'd always wanted to do more streams, but I, there's the whole process of creating a video and then there's streaming. I thought they had to be separate, but yesterday I was able to combine them and make them one, which was pretty great. So if you have any questions about Olama or about making videos or about, I don't know, anything else, let me know in the chat, and I can definitely try to cover those types of questions. Let's see. You're looking at me. Let's look at something more interesting, like that, and maybe put up my. What did I step on? Picture in picture. Oh, that's not it. There we go. There I am, down in the bottom corner. I need to make that a little bit easier. Me. Yeah, my buttons aren't working for moving myself around the image. Hey, the Australians are here. I was very excited to see the sign, Bluey, the most recent episode of Bluey. That was amazing, and when my daughter keeps watching it, and we get to the that last little bit, and the music from Meg Washington comes on, the Lazarus drug, and every single time my daughter is just like sobbing. Ah! And it's not. It's kind of like the happy scene. They're not moving. They're staying in place, and so it's kind of this happy moment, but the song makes it feel so sad. Yeah. So in case you don't know what I'm talking about, on a stream that I do roughly each week, although not in the last few weeks, with Ryan, my former coworker from when I used to work at Datadog, we learned about. Okay, something looked like something happened. We learned about how we learned about this new episode of Bluey coming out, and actually there were two new episodes of Bluey that came out. And Bluey, by the way, if you don't have children or you don't live in Australia, then Bluey is this amazing children's program that is so wonderful to watch. They're only 5 minutes long. It's on, in the US, I think it's on Disney Channel. And it's just so, oh yeah, let's get rid of that. Let's go back to me on that picture. It's just such a beautiful show. In fact, for kids programming that is amazing to watch as adults. It is there's not that many that are great because there's so many really bad shows that you don't even want to introduce your children to because you're gonna have to see some of it sometimes. But Bluey and one on Apple TV, which is what's the guy's name? Stillwater, which is a bunch of kids hanging out with this non-aged panda, and there's a few other amazing, great children's programs that are fun for adults to see as well. DB, okay, some folks that want databases, cool. Half my videos in a day. That would be a very. I guess I've done. I think on my YouTube channel, there's probably about I don't know, 150, 160 videos, and some of them are kind of bad, but I keep them up there because they still get a few views. And one of the earlier ones is about using WriteFacts and Microsoft Outlook, and I recorded that sitting. I think I was recording the audio for that. Or actually, recording the whole thing sitting in bed, in my apartment I think it was in my apartment in Amsterdam, and it's just. I mean, it was before I learned how much more power you have in speaking when you're standing up versus sitting down, and oh, my video is still down there. Huh. Let's turn that thing off. Okay. Stream's bitrate is fast. How can my stream bitrate be that fast? 25 megabit. My internet connection isn't that fast, and somehow my. Hold on, what's going on here? Let's bring up my Mac Mini over here, and let's see if I can change. Okay, I'm HyperDeck High. How'd that happen? Let's turn off my. Oh, I can't turn off my stream because then I'll turn off my stream. Is there a way to change that? I think this was something I'll have to fix for next time. Somehow I'm spitting out 25 megabits per second when my entire internet connection is 30 megabit upload. We have 1 gigabit from Xfinity, which is, I mean, they've pretty much got the monopoly here on Bainbridge. Yeah, so I have the fastest I can get, which is only 30 megabit upload, and somehow I'm able to do 25 megabit upload just to this one service. Maybe I should start some torrents. I don't know. I got final project, and you walked me through most of it. Chatbot. Cool. Yes. So yeah. So somebody made a comment about the Brev video the other day. They said this feels like an ad. Big thumbs down, which is fine. I mean, people have all sorts of weird opinions, but they oh my. I'm thinking of two other things at the same time. No, I don't know why. Anyway, so he's made that comment, and he, or I'd say he, the person, yeah, I don't get paid by Brev. I just really like it. And that said, there are lots of companies out there that will, if there are not influencers, but people who are evangelists at different companies, you must rate limit your live video. How can it be faster? There are companies out there that will, find other evangelists for other companies and give them kind of free resources to be able to use. It's not really a payment. It's just like, here, you can use our stuff for doing whatever you want to do. And I think, when I was at Microsoft, actually, no, when I was at Datadog, if you were a AWS employee or a Microsoft employee, or there are a few others, Google, if you're an employee at any of those places, you would get free access to Datadog, the absolute max account. It wasn't really a payment. It was just like, let's try to get them to use our stuff in their videos or in their presentations or other places. Brev gave me some credits for using Brev, but they gave that to me after I started using Brev. So I don't get any money from Brev. I don't get any benefit from Brev. I do have kind of a channel into one of the founders, and he let me know that all the feedback from they've gotten a lot of new customers because of that video, and they have a lot of feedback about how maybe it's a little bit difficult, more difficult than it should be to work with Ollama, and that there are some really amazing changes coming soon. So I'm really excited about that. Have you ever created a my little button for emoticons is right in the way. Have you ever created, I think it says a VS Code extension using WebView? WebView. So as I've only created, again, I think that says VS Code. Let me press enter. Just so I can move. Okay, good. Ignore that comment. I was just trying to get that previous comment a little higher. So have you created VS Code? I've created 2 VS Code extensions. 2? I want to say 2. And one of them was when I was at Datadog. I can't remember even what it was about. And then there's another one that I created pretty early on in the lifetime of Ollama, and it was for creating model files. And I haven't touched it in 6 months, 8 months, probably since since we first started playing around with the idea of Ollama back in June or July of last year. And just as a tool for me to remember some of the settings. And then I haven't really touched that. I really should see if anyone's using it. It's gotten no love in a long time, but it's on the VS Code store. So no, I have not done a VS Code extension using WebView. I assume that just means like with a web interface or a view. What's an example of that? Is there an example of that? Oh, are you thinking of like as a like a chatbot kind of thing? Maybe. You've just answered the question below. I'm making my own Copilot chat inside VS Code using Ollama for the backend under. Yeah. The best thing I've found for local kind of Copilot like things is Twinny, and I did a video about it. This guy from a little town in Wales, which is very close to where my dad grew up and where my dad went to boarding school when he was, when he was alive and when he was a child. So Twinny is really great. There's a video coming soon. I still have to think about how to write it because it kind of goes against everything I've said before. And so I feel a little weird about it. I think, CodeGPT is I think another one of those VS Code plugins. But one of the ones that I've found recently was because of a guy, I don't know what his full name is, Theo. I think it's theo.gg or something like that. I think he runs a company called Ping. I think it's called Ping. Runs some company, and he live streams like all the time. And he looks a little weird with his mustache, but hey, whatever. Mustaches, some people like that. And he mentioned in passing, oh, there's my, Copilot-like thing answering the, providing the answer, and it's really good. And so I checked this thing out, and it's amazing. It's probably the first of the, Copilot-like programs that I've ever seen that is really incredible. It is not local. It feels weird talking about that, but it is not local. It's a tool called Super Maven. It's $10 a month, like Copilot is, but it's created by one of the guys that left Tab9, which I think was the first company that created one of these kind of Copilot type things inside of VS Code. Copilot came a little bit later, after Tab9 did it. Tab9 is this Israeli company that came up with this, kind of coding assistant, which is just incredible. And I was paying for that for, I don't know, years, up until 2 years ago or so, when Microsoft or GitHub Copilot started becoming more. Tab9 was great. It's still great. It's still there. They're still doing a good job. But one of the original designers of Tab9 left and created Super Maven, Simple Maven, something like that. I think it's Super Maven, and what's really special about it is that it has a 300,000 token context size, and so it really can take in your entire project, and it provides these amazing answers. So often with Copilot, it takes, comes up with an answer based on, all the stuff it's seen online, and it gives you an answer, but often the variables it uses are different and weird. But this is actually looking at your entire code base and providing answers unlike anything I've ever seen any other system do. So that's really cool. So are you planning on doing short interviews? Yeah. So I got an idea I was talking to a guy at a venture capital firm, and I've talked to a couple other venture capital firms about this idea of, doing some, sort of a run through of their product, kind of like a little bit like what I did with the, what did I just do? Open Web UI. Run through, what do I think of this product and all that, and then at the end, invite on to like a Zoom call the person who created it, or the founder of that company, or the CEO, or whoever it was, and I thought that was a great idea. I just haven't done anything about it yet, but I think that could be really neat to do. And then, that way they can get my perspective and I can get their perspective. So it's great that you're offering that as well. I think, as I say, I reached out to, I originally got the idea from another venture capital firm. I can't even remember who it was, but I talked to a few other people at other VCs that were involved with some other companies I know, and so I think that would be great. Yeah, I'm sure he's isn't he Open Web UI guy? He's like at some Asian he's still in university, or it was part of a university project at one point. I don't know. I seem to remember seeing that he was still in one of his posts. Yes. Okay. So I think that could be a great idea. Great thing to do, and pretty interesting. What other questions are there? I want to train a module from Olama, such as Llama 3. How do I give him custom knowledge? Yeah. So training is the word you think you want to use, but it's probably not what you want to use. I think you're more referring to fine-tuning. And fine-tuning, I'm looking down at my screen versus looking at the camera. Fine-tuning is where you take an existing model that's already been trained and then provide additional questions and answers or some other format of data, and that is used to fine-tune the weights and the connections between all the different neurons within the model. And it's, based on the type of the videos I've seen online, and sometimes I make judgments about people, but based on some of the people I've seen creating these videos, it's obviously not hard to do, and I've just not tried it. So I need to try it. I need to start working with it, because this is probably about training or about fine-tuning models. It's probably been the most common question right from the beginning. In fact, when we were still just a Mac product, when Olama was just on the Mac and not even on Linux, I knew that Patrick had done some work with the fine-tuning stuff that's in Llama CPP, and it felt like we were going to release fine-tuning as part of Olama, like imminent, like days away, but priorities changed, and maybe it wasn't even close to actually being ready to not even close to being reliable. It definitely took him a long time to run. I think there's a lot that could be done there because it's still hard. People still, there's not like an application that you can run that just like takes your data and fine tunes it. I mean, there's still a lot of work that's, you run, yes, there are applications. There are tools like Axolotl, or there's lots of other these tools. But there's a lot of hands-on work you need to do to get them to run, which is frustrating. It really should be easier. All right, so some people are suggesting some of the, what am I showing? Yeah, some people are suggesting some of the databases that they would like to see me look at. So I saw somebody just database. Okay, cool. So one person mentioned that there's a lot of different UIs and they're all easy to set up and use. Databases are another story. I'd say actually the opposite. The databases, compared, I've seen a lot of UIs, and they provide instructions on how to install it, and a lot of them are really involved installation processes. They're projects that were spun up on maybe over the weekend or over a few weeks, and they didn't really think about the installation process. I mean, there was one I couldn't even get. What was it called? LOLLMS, something like that. I can't even get the thing installed. It fails every single time I try it. And all the databases I've tried, I mean, they're just brain dead easy to get spun up and to start playing with. So, but maybe there's more of a barrier to entry for that, because, okay, just installing it is one thing, but then to actually interact with it, which is probably going to be done through the API, that's maybe a higher hurdle to jump. So I could understand that being true. Let's see what else we got. Time. Ooh, hey. I got a tip. I don't know what SAR is. What's is that? Oh, is that South African rand? Is that still the currency for South Africa? I don't know. I had a. If it is, then I have fond memories of Johannesburg, and I think it was just Johannesburg that I went to, and I did that long ago. So my Saudi what is it? Saudi. What's the R for? Oh, is it just Saudi Arabia? What's the currency there? Saudi Riyadh. Okay, Rial. Okay. Well, let me tell you about my South Africa story, because that was kind of fun. So I was in South Africa. I was working for a company called OpenText. I was the trainer for WriteFacts. I was going to do a 3-day training there, and a few others came down. Just happened to be down. It was like the head of the company, which actually it wasn't. I don't know. It might not have been OpenText yet. We might have still been at Capteris, which got acquired by OpenText. And we went round to Matt's hotel, because he was in a different hotel than us. It was me, John Harrison, Matt, and then going to see Matt Bryan. And so we go down, and Matt says, okay, I'm going to be down in just a few minutes. Wait in the lobby. So we're waiting in the lobby, and we see these guys, this like van pull up, and these big guys come out, get out of the van, and they lift, all their luggage, and they bring it into the lobby, and they plop it down. And then they one of the guys goes to the front desk and makes starts checking in, and the other guys go back to the car to grab more luggage, and they grab more luggage, and they come inside and they plop it down. They just leave it there on top of their first sets of bags, and they go back for more luggage. I mean, I don't know, there were 4 or 5 guys, but they're bringing in a lot of stuff, and so they go in for another set of luggage, and they disappear for a while and just leave their stuff in the middle lobby. What was weird, I mean, that's something you see at hotels all around the world. What was weird was that the that second load of luggage was like, each one of them had 2 or 3 AK-47s, riot shotguns, and all these other like heavy duty weaponry, big machine guns and stuff. And they were just plopping them on the bags and going to get more. Like, what is going on here? Where are we? What is this? And then the taxi, Matt comes down, taxi comes and picks us up, and we get into the taxi, and he says, "You want to see something really cool?" I says, "Yeah, of course we want to see something really cool." And so he drives us around to the back, and the entire parking lot is filled with armored vehicles, all sorts of riot, all the riot trucks with cannons and like spray cannons on top. And apparently this was the hotel that not only houses vice presidents at decent sized software companies, but also a lot of the police from all around the region. Because apparently at the time I was there in Johannesburg, there were riots going on just outside, and so all these police were going to deal with the riots. Anyway, so that was my South Africa story. Even though it was, I have a Saudi story, in case you're interested, but wasn't quite as funny. I used to go to Dubai a lot. I used to go to Dubai probably five or 6 times a year for 1 to 2 weeks. Loved it. Loved going there. Saw so much. Went skiing. And so much more. But anyway, but thank you anyway for the 50 Saudi riyals. Anytime somebody does that, I'm so amazed when folks will, do those types of what I don't even know what they're called, tips, where they leave, some like actual money, which is amazing. I don't do it for that. But I so appreciate every time I do see that. So thank you so much. Oh, let's click that little heart. Yeah. It's also an entire water ski resort now. Yeah, the ski place I was talking about was the Ski Dubai, where you could go, and it was like $30, $40, and they give you all the gear because nobody's going to Dubai with a snowboard. And you go down these slopes, and which is incredible, and you can go into a mall, and it's just such an incredible place. Yeah, I kind of got tired of going to Dubai. But Dubai was a great place to go because we could have people come to the trainings from the entire region. It was like the one place where we could have folks from Saudi, from Syria, from Israel, from all these places, all coming together, just working together. It was quite and there are a lot of places in the region where, at least at that time, that kind of thing just wouldn't be able to happen. Oh, I think I have a visitor. Oh, hi. Yeah. What's up? My wife was checking in on me. So heard me talking to myself. Yeah. I used to, one time I went and I stayed at, I always stayed at Sheraton's, Sheraton's and Westin's and any of the Starwood properties. It was when Starwood was still a separate thing, not part of Marriott. And they once put me on in a hotel that was on the, like that main highway, like bigger highway, towards the big tower. I mean, that main highway. There's hotels all along there and office buildings, and I feel like that's where I got my thumbprint ID thing to go through the faster security in the airport. But that road, Sheikh Zayed Road, something like that. And it was awful. It was a much newer hotel. It was, all the rooms had like marble floors. I hated it. It felt so uncomfortable. I said, no, take me back to my favorite hotel. And my favorite was always the Sheraton Four Points in Old Dubai, right around the corner from the old fort. I love that place, and I always went. Anyway, that is unrelated to anything about AI. And yeah, you don't come here to not hear tangents. But anyway, PG vector vote. Okay, yeah, I can. I've definitely heard a lot of people talk about PG vector. You know, I was actually surprised with when I did a little 1 or 2 videos on ChromaDB. I was surprised that, you know, Chroma uses SQLite underneath. And so before I was thinking, oh, PG vector is just, you know, some tool slapped on top of Postgres, and it's not going to be that great. But of course, that is exactly what ChromaDB is. It's some tool slapped on top of SQLite. Or Pinecone. Yeah, I have no experience with Pinecone. Another one that I have played around with a little bit was what's this? Super something? What is that thing? There's a cool website. 3B is 3 billion parameters, correct. Pinecone's awesome. The one that let's see, I want to go to my desktop. Let's close that. Okay, so I think I'm on this page. 7B is 7 billion parameters, but what does text or instruct mean? Yeah, so with all the models, often, you know, when they first do their initial training for the model, it's usually called like a text model or a base model or a, I think those are usually the terms that are used. And then but that kind of model, or that kind of model is just trained for doing like a completion. You put in a phrase and it will complete the rest of that phrase. So you could say once upon a time, and it will say, you know, there was a maiden in the woods, whatever it was. But it's not fine-tuned for asking a question and getting an answer. And so they do an additional fine-tuning or additional training where they give that, you know, here's the format we expect the message to be in, including all those, sometimes some weird symbols at the beginning and end of the prompt versus the answer. And they do go through a whole series of these questions and answers and fine-tune or train it to, I'm not sure if they're doing training or fine-tuning. I think it's fine-tuning in that case, to be able to answer questions about, answer a question. And then, so then that model then comes out as an instruct model. It's sometimes instruct or sometimes chat. Somebody has tried to explain to me that those two are different, and they use the same words to explain each one. So, but somehow they're a little bit different. But that's generally what that means. Anyway, I came over here for a very specific reason. No idea what it was. But let's take a look at, I want to say, oh yeah, there was this website. What did I call this? What website am I on? Ah, yeah. Okay, so let's go to, it's something like Vector Hub, but not vectorhub.com, but, or Vector, not this. Maybe it's that. I don't think it's that. Oh yeah, it is this one. So there's this comparison of all these different vector databases that exist. Hopefully you're seeing that. Let's see what you're seeing. Okay, I am looking at the right thing. Okay, so this is the vector.db comparison. So I can see Chroma is here, and I can see that it supports filters. So I can filter down what's going to be searched in the query. Although I think it's the filters happen after the query. But then, does it support multi-vector? Does it support sparse, whatever that is? And, what kind of models? Yeah, just all the different capabilities of this database. But then I can also go to Milvus was one that I was going to do pretty soon, which looks really interesting. But PG Vector, I guess there's one in C and one written in Rust. And what's different about that? It's got a yellow thing next to GeoSearch for GIS. I don't know what that means, but and then we got one for Pinecone here. So this looks like a really interesting guide to see what's different about all the different vector databases. Let me go onto this machine and take a look at my status. I can figure out what's going on with my live stream. Analytics. So I think that's pretty cool. And is definitely, the reason why I chose Chroma first is because it was one of the simplest ones. It has the fewest features, really, of most of them. It's and it seemed like a nice place to start from. What is the URL for this? It is, I used to know the way to zoom in, but it is superlink.com/vector-db or /vector-db-comparison. But if, the first time I tried to look for this, first time somebody mentioned it to me, I went to vectorhub.org, which is not correct, because this is something else. So, I mean, the thing for Brev is that it's a great place to put stuff, put your application, as long as you need. It doesn't really do anything special with AI or large language models. Its main thing is, let's see, if I go to Brev, its main thing is they provide instances just like you would get from AWS or Google Cloud or Azure or anybody else or DigitalOcean, but they also give you access to real GPUs. So I can go into, log in to my, how did I log in? Was I on Google? Let's log in here. Ah. Okay. That is not the account. Sign out. Let me log in a different time. Different one. This one. Okay, that's the one. And so now, ooh, they've changed the UI for this. If I click on new, here are all the different GPUs I have access to. And some of them are, H100 with 80 gigs which you can access for $1.93 an hour. Does it go down for spot? No, it doesn't. Some of them will go down a lot if you use a spot instance, but I guess not a cache. They just did they just signed up with these guys just in the last few days, I think. But so this would be a great thing to play with. And, $2 an hour sounds like, well, that's going to add up a lot. But, if you bring the machine up, do your thing, and then shut it down, often I've had bigger jobs that need to get done, and I only need it for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Then I shut it down, and then I bring it back up, the next day or a few days later. And so it turns out to be not a lot of money. As long as you're smart. If you want to be stupid and just turn it on and leave it on for the entire month, yeah, that's going to add up to a lot more than $2. But A100s, I usually go for the T4 because it's dirt cheap. This a T4 with the 16 gigs on the T4, but 30 gigs and 8 CPU is $1 an hour. But then you switch on the spot instance, and it comes down to, usually that goes way down. Maybe there's something different going on. But often I've gotten machines down to like 20 cents an hour, and I only need it for 20 minutes, and so it's so cheap. And they're mostly NVIDIA cards. It looks like they used to have at least one AMD. Oh, they have a few AMDs available. Looks like there's some Intel stuff, but I think that's Intel. Is Gaudi Intel? Habana. I don't know what that is. But yeah, so this is a great, I really like, so the billing is per minute. It shows per hour because that's an easier number to comprehend, but they're only actually billing you for the minute. And they'll show you on the bill, you used, this many minutes this day, and this many minutes that other day, and these minutes this other day, and the thing is, comes out to like $2 for the month, or $3. I often spend maybe $5 in a month. So yeah, I really like it. Now this is not their main thing. What's going on with Ollama, where I create an Ollama instance and then I log into the machine. That's not really their main thing that they've been pushing for since they began. Their main thing was all about notebooks, and it's another way of getting access to these Jupyter notebooks with awesome hardware behind them that you can then log into afterwards. But I think most of their customers are coming to Brev because of their support for notebooks. And they've got a great a blog, which I guess I'm on their internal page, so I don't see their blog. But they have a great blog with actual examples of. There's this one person there who created a notebook about fine-tuning a model based on all her journals that she's written since she was a kid, which I thought was really, really cool. Oh, it looks like, okay, so now you have a little more control over, you deploy a machine, it then spins up a container on that machine, and that takes a little bit of time. But if you just want access to the machine, it can be up and running in usually about a minute to 2 minutes. The container seems to take a long time to spin up, and then you have a certain notebook available. So the notebook's always running in a container. But yeah, I think that's pretty awesome. What other questions are there? So that was a roundabout way of saying, is Brev.dev the right choice? I don't know. There's a lot of choices out there. There's another one. If you need access to Windows machines that are in the cloud with GPU, this is not the right solution. These are all Linux boxes. The only solution I've found that has decent Windows machines has been, what's the company called? Paperspace. And Paperspace is now part of DigitalOcean. Although they're still, I don't know if they're still this, but it's separate enough where that, if you have a DigitalOcean account, you won't have a Paperspace account. There's some linking of back-end accounting systems, but I feel like my bills from Paperspace have come from Paperspace and not DigitalOcean. And then, although I think I've also set up instances on AWS with Windows instances. Oh, on Azure as well. But the problem with both of those is that the GPU is just like this generic GPU name, and you're going to be getting some kind of GPU on the back end, but we don't really know who it is. So that doesn't really work well for Ollama. But I think it's cheaper getting it that way. Yeah. What other questions? We had a bunch of questions for a while. Yeah, so I like to go for the T4 because it's cheaper. It depends. I mean, last time I did this, the pricing was very different. You know, the T4 was a lot cheaper than the A100, and now they're not. It's I see an A100 80 gig for only about $1 or $1.13 an hour. So that's getting pretty close to the same thing, and the A100 is so much more powerful, and it's 80 gigs, so that would definitely support the the 70B model or larger models. So I don't know if I would. This Akash seems to be coming in a lot cheaper than many of the other alternatives from Lambda Labs and FluidStack and GCP and AWS, but it's and then they also have some machines that have, you can get 8 A100s, which sounds like it would be always build, even if it's a, I don't know. So they don't mention that, and that's something I keep meaning to ask, because usually I've just when I'm done with the machine, I just kill it. I don't just shut it down. I just totally kill it and delete it, because pretty much everything. When I spin up a new machine, let's spin one up right now. I haven't used this in a long time. How's a T4? Oh, I've got 4. Okay. So let's spin up one of these. This guy right here. Actually, let's use one of these H100s. I've never tried that. Okay, and I'll call it Matt's Live. And that looks good. I'll deploy that. And now I'm going to bring up my term. Let's not take up the full screen there. And increase my font here. Been a while since I've run this, so let's do a Brev refresh. Currently logged out. Would you like to log in? Yes, I would. Press enter. Okay, confirm. It's now connected. Okay. Okay, so now I can do Brev. What was the right command? Brev shell host, and I called it Matt's Live. And now I'm connected. I'm logged in. That did not take very long. That was really quick. I mean, it says I was doing it for 14 seconds, but it was probably like 30 seconds before that I started the machine. So, 45 seconds, 45, 50 seconds. And now if I wanted to do have Olama install in my shortcuts. So I can run that. Okay, and so we're set. There's no privilege. Okay. And so now, if I do Olama list, what is the command? Systemctl. It should be started, but what is it? Start Olama, something like that. No. Oh, okay, that's not it. That's weird. Olama serve. Olama serve. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Oop, not server. Oh, but it's not. What's going on here? Okay, so user local bin. I see nothing in there. All right, so that's weird. Do I need to do what I just did with sudo? I don't think so. Let's just curl that. Okay, I don't know what the right commands are, so I'm just kind of winging it here. And then yeah. Okay, this is the slowest it's ever been for me. Usually it's always just been like install, it takes like 3 seconds and then I'm up and running it. I don't know what's going on here. But, well, what do some comments say going on here? Yeah, so as I say, when I'm done with the model, I just shut down. This no privileges thing is set, which prevents sudo from running as root. Llama, not found. And I don't know. This is the first time I've used this, whatever this instance was. Who was it? It was, whoever, this, a cache. I don't know. I'm just going to delete it. When in doubt, delete it. Oh, delete. I think I pressed delete. Oh, okay. So it's already gone. No, it's there. That's weird. Okay, now it's gone. So I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to go with my usual T4, that's a smaller machine. And let's use spot, see if it goes down. No, it didn't. Oh, it went up. 69 cents to 71 cents. Well, that's weird. All right, let's call this Matt's definitely live 2. Okay. And then we'll go to Brev shell Matt's live 2. Doing it live. Who was that? That did that? Some TV announcer doing it live. All right. Ooh, I've got more comments. A little bit detailed view. Yeah, I would too. On how to fine tune a model. Yeah, I'd love to. That is my own GPU. Yep. Okay. Almost. Yeah. Okay. I've never gotten this to feel exactly right. Feel janky. Mattermost. What's Mattermost? I know it's like, what is Mattermost? Bill O'Reilly. We're doing live. Yes. I feel like I know Mattermost, but it's like Slack. Oh, that's not what I was thinking of. Okay. Huh. For some reason, I was thinking Mattermost was um, like a 3D visualization for realtors, but maybe that was a different company, or a a tool for what was that tool for like a Home Assistant, not Home Assistant, but instead of Z-Wave or Zigbee, but that's I think that was Matter, not Mattermost. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's bring up my Olama install command. Boom, there we go. Olama list. Oh, come on, really? Okay, system start Olama. What? This is ridiculousness. Let's just do Olama serve. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that, and then Brev. I'm not smart enough to know what to do there. Yeah, maybe it requires an update. It's been a few weeks since I last did this. Olama list. Okay, so Olama pull Olama 3. And so I one thing that they're going to do is make it easier to give it a script that you want it to run, so that like a user init kind of script that you would have on other platforms, and just spin up, and that way Olama's right there. They're actually talking about maybe having Olama already there anyway, and just make it super easy to use, which will be amazing. That allows you to use ChatGPT, GitHub Copilot in developing healthcare apps. Yeah, you don't know where the data is coming from, and that's definitely a concern. And I think I know at early on at Datadog, if you were using I think things have changed now because they did some deal with Microsoft, but early on, if you used ChatGPT at Datadog, you would be fired almost immediately. Again, I think they changed that because of deals that were made. But hold on one second. Yep. What? Yeah. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. So Llama pull. So now I can just run it. So it just makes it super easy to. I mean, sometimes I don't have. I'm out of. I don't have the ability to run things locally, and so it's really nice to be able to spin something up quickly. Although today it did not spin up quickly, and this was a bad demo. The API is now running on this port. Yes. So if I do a what is the right command? Curl. No, oops. Curl x post. Did you see that little kind of screensaver on the back of the Brev thing? http://local host port 11434, which, by the way, in case you don't know, 11434 is llama in Leet speak / API / list. What's the... Nope, not that one. But yeah, it would be... it's not a post, it's a get. To... local host port 11... My God. 11434 / API / I want to say it's list, or it's get. Anyway, yes, you can. Well, chat, yes, but then I have to like actually think of what the full messages thing. I'm not. Generate would be easier. Okay, generate -x post generate -d model. How not to do programming is llama 3 prompt is why is the sky blue? What's going on there? Why is the sky blue? Unmatched close brace bracket. Got that. Yeah. Oh, it needs to be a string, I think. Low? What's going on there? What's up with low? This is why you shouldn't do this live. Wait, what happened there? I'm incompetent here today. Okay, let's go. Local host. This is worse than watching paint dry. I give up. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Crodax post hp ://localhost 14. That should be right. Don't do this on the command line, and don't do it live in front of 22 of your best friends. What other questions do we have here? So I have, this was fun. I actually have a screaming child. Oh yeah, this is that DVD screensaver. I have a screaming child. He is she is screaming, and my mother, or I'm saying all the wrong things. She's screaming. My wife is cooking dinner. My mother's about to come over for dinner, so I should probably go. This was fun. I hope you had fun. We've been on for, about an hour-ish. Oh, I hear that scream. So thanks so much. This was fun. I hope to do it again soon. I hear a scream coming closer. Uh-oh. Scream's coming in. Let's, What's wrong?
I made a drawing and then it ripped in half.
Oh no, it's ripped in half. Well, okay, I'm gonna just say goodbye to all the people on the stream, okay? Bye-bye. Let's end my stream somewhere over here and end it here. End.